The 7th round of the Motorsport UK British Rallycross Championship 5 Nations Trophy is held at Pembrey in Wales. It's time for the finals of the RX150 class. Space frame chassis, Honda Fireblade engine, rocket ships. Here's the grid then. It lines up with Stephen Jones on pole position. Alongside him is Nick Priddy and then Ben Hardy on the outside of the front row. The lights go green and we go racing down towards the first corner. Who's going to get the whole shot? It's Nick Priddy, as Hardy then is shuffled to the outside. Stephen Jones goes through into second place. Then it's James Williams in the turquoise machine in his second start in the RX150 Championship, followed by debutante Paige Bellaby, who we're used to seeing in her Super National spec Lotus Elise. But a dream start to the race then for Nick Priddy in the number 27 as he leads the way from Stephen Jones, from Ben Hardy. Down in towards the right-hander we go for the first time. You can already tell that this RX150 race is set to be an absolute cracker, and it's anybody's guess as to how it's going to go. Into the Joker goes Ben Hardy then from third position, so he wants to go early and get himself out of traffic for the rest of the field whilst they all squabble amongst one another, and that could prove to be an inspired decision here for Ben Hardy. He can just run his own race whilst everybody else sorts themselves out in front, have a nice little bit of a buffer, a bit of clear air in front of him, and if he doesn't get held up too much by some of the cars in front, then it could prove to work out very nicely indeed. So down the back straight we go. Priddy leads from Jones, leads from James Williams then. As I said earlier on, only his second weekend in the RX150 machines. He's used to doing closed stage rally driving. Made a debut at Mondello Park and took a victory, as I understand it, on the second day of action. As into the Joker then goes Paige Bellaby in the background, who in turn is making her debut in the class and doing a very good job to keep pace with some of the regular drivers in the RX150 machines. Across the timeline we go. There is Ben Hardy. He's already jokered, as we know. Did that at the end of the first lap. Up in front, the top three are still continuing on in their normal lap, but Hardy is closing that deficit down quite nicely actually here, as Jones there has a half look to the inside of leader Priddy in towards the right-hander onto the looser section of the track. This is where there would usually be gravel, but it's actually proven to be quite a slick line as Jones goes into the Joker. Now where is he going to emerge in relation to the rest of the field? It's ahead of Paige Bellaby, it's behind Ben Hardy though. Now is that going to be a disadvantage for Jones? If he can keep pace with Hardy, and if Hardy is running a similar pace, he can hopefully go with him and use that to his advantage. But it all depends if Hardy's pace is good compared to the two drivers of Priddy and of Williams who are in front of him. Such is the fast-paced nature of these RX150 machines. They're incredibly tricky to drive on the limit, very short wheelbases, and that's why you'll see these machines getting incredibly sideways, especially on the power, as Williams goes into the Joker then from second place. Now what is he going to be able to do? Oh, he's clipped the tyres and he spun it round. Oh, James Williams, a podium possibility has come to absolutely nothing then as he spins out of contention on the Joker lap, and that is really going to shuffle up the rest of the pack, because it now means that Ben Hardy is up into second, Jones is up into third place, but of course the race leader Nick Priddy has not made his Joker lap as of yet, and Ben Hardy has really closed the gap down to something that could prove to be very much at a disadvantage here for Nick Priddy, because he could be under threat for his race lead and certainly will be under threat for it as we come through into the gravel. Then into the Joker comes Priddy, so Hardy's going to go through. What about Jones? He follows him through also, and Priddy's actually going to drop here behind Paige Bellaby, so it's not worked out at all for the race leader as Ben Hardy there shuffled out a little bit wide and Jones goes through into the race lead. So it's now Stephen Jones who was languishing off of the podium just a couple of laps to go, and now he leads the way from Ben Hardy then, from Paige Bellaby, who's on for a podium in her first ever event in the RX150 category. Then it's Nick Priddy in fourth place as they come down the back straight in towards the right-hander. This has been an absolute blinder here from Ben Hardy and especially from Stephen Jones. They timed their Joker laps to perfection, and it's nose to tail running as they come through the final couple of corners. Who's going to get this one then? It's Stephen Jones who holds on to the race lead, slightly wide there for Ben Hardy. Does that leave him under attack from Paige Bellaby? No, not quite, as they come through the final corner and to the timing line. It's Stephen Jones who takes the win of round 5 of the RX150 category ahead of Ben Hardy and Paige Bellaby. Nick Priddy comes across the line in fourth place. Wow, 4 drivers separated by just 1.3 seconds at the flag.